Now, it was in 1987 when Utah witnessed its own mid-air collision in the skies over Kearns. News specialist Shara Park joining us now live from that very neighborhood, taking us back to a very, very cold January day that no doubt people in that area will never forget. Shara?
Yeah, Ashley, that mid-air collision left a horrific scene in this Kearns community. For many, including journalists who were first on scene, it is a day they will never forget.
I heard a big boom and looked up, and everything was falling.
January 15th, 1987, a SkyWest commuter plane and a single-engine aircraft collided over Kearns, resulting in the unthinkable.
About 10 feet in front of me, a body hit the ground.
You know, I look back in terms of stories that I've done over the years, that's probably the most tragic one locally that I can recall.
Retired journalist Keith McCord was one of the first reporters on the scene that day.
When we pulled up, got out of the car, and I looked at the parking lot, and all I saw was body parts.
And what he found was a debris field with human remains that covered a 40-block area of homes.
And pretty soon people are starting to come at us. There's an airplane wing in my roof of my house. There's an engine in my backyard.
According to the FAA at the time, the single-engine plane never communicated with the control tower before entering the flight path of the SkyWest jet.
Yeah, there was pieces on top of the roof here.
The collision resulted in 10 deaths.
I remember interviewing pilots, private pilots, whatever, on other shows that we had, trying to figure out what happened. How could this possibly happen?
McCord says the events in Washington remind him of what happened over Kearns that tragic January day. He says the aftermath is what will forever remain in his mind.
I mean, there are bones and legs, and it was just, it was bad. And I'm going, what did I just see today? And I hope I never have to see it again.
And even with such a large debris field on the ground here in Kearns, there were no injuries reported on the ground. Many at the time saying that alone was a miracle. Ashley?
Yeah, and just decades later, hearing Keith recount what he remembers, you can tell people who experience that, they will never forget it. Shara, thank you for that live report.
Yeah.